Have you ever pondered just how terrifying a Type 7 civilization might be? The very moment you begin to pose that question, a vague notion of power surpassing our ordinary comprehension emerges, marking the instant you embark upon a haunting journey of the mind, a voyage across the thresholds of physical knowledge to which humanity clings with desperate tenacity. Cast aside the flickering lights on screens, dismiss the intricate mathematical models we have scarcely begun to fathom. Draw a deep breath, for the tale about to unfold concerns not merely distant stars, but the very essence of existence itself, and our minuscule, almost insignificant position within the vast cosmic map. We take pride in being a Type 0 civilization, a collection of carbon-based beings grappling with fossil fuels, with rudimentary chemical reactions on a diminutive planet orbiting an unremarkable star. We have accomplished astonishing feats within our confines, from deciphering the intricate genome to dispatching feeble radio signals across infinite space. Yet that pride, akin to a shadow upon a wall, dissipates the instant we confront the colossal silhouette of the Kardashev Scale. Nikolai Kardashev, the Soviet astronomer, in the year 1964, devised a rudimentary yet profoundly unsettling compass. He disregarded technology or philosophy. His focus rested solely upon energy. Energy constitutes the lifeblood of evolution. A civilization can ascend only by harnessing greater, more potent, and more sophisticated sources of energy. Type 1, the planetary civilization. This stands as our immediate aspiration, a physical dream pursued through fusion energy projects and global electrical grids. A Type 1 civilization could harness the entirety of solar energy incident upon Earth, an amount estimated at approximately 17 terawatts, or more precisely, 17 multiplied by 10 to the power of 16 watts. Humanity presently falls short of this figure, lingering somewhere around 0.72 or 0.73 on the scale, depending upon calculation methods and the burgeoning development of renewable energy sources. Recent assessments, such as those published in scientific journals up to the year 2025, indicate that our global energy consumption might reach approximately 887 exajoules by the year 2060, elevating us to a Type 0.7449 civilization, though attaining full Type 1 status could span millennia. A Type 1 civilization would harbor no fear of storms. They could manipulate atmospheric mass movements, alter ocean currents to optimize climate for their needs. They could effortlessly erect colossal structures without hindrance from materials or energy, for the entire planet would serve as an instrument in their grasp. Yet if we are merely Type 0, then Type 2, the stellar civilization, represents a perceptual leap and escape from the planetary cradle. Envision a civilization enveloping their host star with an immense structure, a near-perfect energy collection network, a Dyson sphere. Freeman Dyson, the eminent physicist, conceived this notion. A star akin to our Sun emits energy approximately 3.8 multiplied by 10 to the power of 26 watts. A Type 2 civilization would absorb nearly the entirety of this staggering quantity. This would not only signify boundless energy for grand engineering endeavors, such as relocating planets to optimize orbits or fabricating enormous artificial ecological rings, but also imply they emit a distinctive infrared thermal signature in the electromagnetic spectrum, a signature our most advanced telescopes, such as the James Webb Space Telescope, vigilantly seek day and night. Recent observations from the James Webb Space Telescope, as reported in astronomical studies through 2025, have identified potential candidates for such structures, including up to 60 stars exhibiting excess infrared radiation consistent with partial Dyson spheres or swarms, though these remain subject to verification and could stem from natural phenomena like dusty debris disks. The silence enveloping our universe, the Great Silence, weighs heavier as we realize that if Type 2 civilizations exist, they might deliberately or inadvertently conceal their vast energy traces from immature observers like ourselves. And then we advance to Type 3, the galactic civilization. Here, human language begins to falter. Type 3 commands not one star, but hundreds of billions within their galaxy. They have tamed supermassive black holes at galactic cores to extract energy from accretion disks, or even the rotational energy of the black holes themselves, a process termed the Penrose process. Travel ceases to be a millennia-long odyssey across light years. It becomes feasible, though still constrained by the speed of light in ordinary Minkowski space. They might have devised circumventions, perhaps through localized wormholes or macroscopic quantum effects enabling short spatial leaps, bending space-time fabric to traverse galactic distances. They have resolved biological quandaries. Physical immortality, consciousness storage in quantum supercomputers, or transmuting biological forms into more stable matter, perhaps plasma or pure energy, becomes commonplace. Yet even at this echelon, they remain bound by this material universe. Type 4, the universal civilization, forms the initial granite barrier against our imagination crashes. They transcend confinement to a single galaxy. Their footprint spans the observable universe, a sphere with a diameter of approximately 93 billion light-years. Their energy derives not from stars, but from the entirety of accessible space-time. They perceive fluctuations of fundamental particles on cosmic scales. They pinpoint the precise coordinates of all information within that expanse. But herein, amid this near-infinite vastness, looms implicit doom. Type 4 comprehends that, despite their might, the universe possesses limits. They cannot surmount the cosmic horizon barrier imposed by the speed of light in expanding space. Every attempt to unify energy from all matter in their observable realm yields a brutal truth. The universe's expansion, propelled by dark energy, drags everything apart faster than light speed, forging inescapable isolation. Numerous Type 4 civilizations, facing the futility of controlling all material existence, have self-destructed or fragmented into smaller clusters, retreating to more stable systems rather than confronting the frigid emptiness of an inflating cosmos. Contemporary research into dark energy, as of 2025, underscores this acceleration, with surveys from the Dark Energy Survey mapping massive galaxy clusters to probe cosmic laws, revealing that dark energy constitutes about 68% of the universe's energy density, relentlessly driving this separation. And then we touch the threshold humanity deems mythical. Type 5, the multidimensional transformative civilization. This transcends mere energy exploitation. It involves creating conditions for life and energy to germinate. A Type 5 civilization could relocate a planet, somehow manipulating gravitational fields on grand scales, positioning it within the perfect Goldilocks zone of a new star or revitalizing an aging one. They could infuse water vapor and nitrogen into a barren world, generating oceans and atmospheres in mere millennia, a natural process spanning billions of years. Through precisely calculated asteroid impacts, they could deliver complex organic molecules to surfaces, actively intervening in abiogenesis, the emergence of life from inorganic matter. They serve as cosmic gardeners, and lower-tier civilizations like ours are but tender sprouts, shielded or neglected at their whim. But the most fearsome capability of Type 5 lies in multi-dimensional travel. They traverse not merely our 3 spatial dimensions and 1 temporal. They leap through extra-spatial dimensions, those compactified dimensions predicted by string theory, or even dimensions of wholly alien character. Imagine a space with 11 dimensions. Type 5 could unravel those compact dimensions upon a planet, forging entirely novel physical environments, or even shift that planet across distinct space-time layers. They have surpassed Newtonian and Einsteinian physics. They toy with reality's foundational fabric. Their evolution has pivoted from matter to spiritual consciousness, for matter, however mastered, retains finitude. Recent advancements in string theory, as documented in 2025 publications, suggest observational evidence supporting string theory's role in explaining dark energy, with calculations indicating it may unify all physics, potentially validating these multidimensional frameworks. Next comes Type 6, the divine or pure consciousness civilization. This marks the final pivot before civilization loses meaning for us. Type 6 has largely forsaken material form. They exist as informational patterns, consciousness fields sprawling like a vast quantum network across billions of light years. They require no spacecraft. They embody organized energy, a self-aware quantum field. They transcend light speed not by shattering it, but by eluding it. Light speed limits only information transmission in our known spacetime. Type 6 manipulates spacetime curvature, crafting instantaneous shortcuts, or simply conveys information via universe-scale quantum entanglement. They can revisit every event, not as recreated images, but as data retrieval from the universe's eternal archive. Nevertheless, even Type 6 confronts a supreme law, causality. They cannot alter the past. This stems not from technological deficiency, but time's fundamental nature. The past, to them, is a fixed ensemble of events, frozen in this universe's temporal flow. Altering it would precipitate a logical collapse of the entire causal structure, potentially inducing irreparable information decay. Yet what renders Type 6 most terrifying, and the gateway to transcendence, is their interaction with the multiverse. They navigate parallel universes, realities where physical constants, like the fine structure constant or the proton-to-electron mass ratio, assume divergent values. In those realms, they might exist as utterly different matter forms, perhaps pure mathematical models. Therein, they freely modify pasts of their inferior versions. But for this universe, they remain bound by past invariance. They have attained a form of physical/conscious immortality, where energy and matter are interchangeable states of a grand informational entity, an eternal quantum superposition. Developments in supersymmetry and multiverse theories by 2025 propose that such hidden sectors could explain dark matter's elusiveness, hinting at mirror worlds paralleling our own. And then, beyond Type 6, we plunge into the abyss of the unimaginable. Type 7, the creator civilization. This is where Kardashev or any materialist scientist must bow before infinity. Type 7 is not merely a civilization within the universe. They are the universe. The distinction between Type 6 and Type 7 lies not in energy quantity, but in essence of existence and perception. Type 6 remains, to some degree, within the universe, albeit as expansive consciousness. Type 7 has wholly transitioned from first-person perspective, the view of an individual bounded by space and time, to third-person, the creator's vantage. For Type 7, our universe, with its 13.8 billion years of history, its galaxies, black holes, and physical laws, is but a crafted product. They do not dwell in this universe, they establish its rules. Time, space, gravity, electromagnetism, fundamental constants, and even quantum mechanics limits all are parameters Type 7 set upon initiating this universe. Attempt to conceive. For us, constructing a supercomputer simulating a living cell's operations is a triumph. For a Type 7 civilization, birthing a universe with specific physical conditions where atoms bond, constants permit star formation, and ultimately intelligent life is as straightforward as our igniting a candle in darkness. Attempt to conceive. For us, constructing a supercomputer simulating a living cell's operations is a triumph. For a Type 7 civilization, birthing a universe with specific physical conditions where atoms bond, constants permit star formation, and ultimately intelligent life is as straightforward as our igniting a candle in darkness. The most terrifying aspect is their actions' absolute simplicity. Suppose a cadre of Type 7 physicists decrees, "We wish to observe what transpires if the gravitational constant exceeds its current value by 1%. They require no engineers or laborers. They merely adjust a variable in reality's foundational code. In our universe, this would mean stars combust far more rapidly, planets crumble under gravity, life never forms. But for Type 7, they simply observe the outcome in a parallel experiment, or even within this universe should they permit the alteration in a minor space-time segment. The terror of a Type 7 civilization resides in its inhumanity, its absolute indifference to our existence. We, humanity, strive to comprehend laws they authored. We study general relativity, quantum mechanics, and the Standard Model, endeavoring to unify them into a theory of everything, while for Type 7, those theories are mere marginal notes, game rules they instituted. Consider time. We measure it via cesium atom decay, Earth's rotational cycles, fixed quantities in our scope. But a Type 7 civilization might not be tethered to the linear temporal flow we experience. They could exist simultaneously at every point in this universe's past, present, and future, not as travel, but because their existence essence depends not upon time's singular dimension. They do not journey to the past, they simply are there, coexistent with every event past and pending. This leads to a horrifying inference. If we are a Type 0 civilization wrestling with chemical energy, then what we deem grand, discovering electricity, nuclear fission, or artificial intelligence, is but an infant's feeble cries whilst playing with sand. In Type 7's context, even Type 6's immortality obsolesces. Type 6 is immortal within Universe A's physical laws. Type 7 authors those laws for Universe A. Should they grow weary, they can forge Universe B with wholly distinct laws, where Type 6's immortality ceases to exist or becomes trivial. They embody eternity, uniqueness, for no other entity wields power to create the rules they obey. The fear stems not solely from power, but perceptual disparity. Imagine a biologist studying an ant colony on a pavement. That biologist might examine social structure, labor division, chemical signals, but the biologist need not fret whether the ants comprehend their existence or the physical laws governing their world. Indeed, the biologist might inadvertently spill a coffee cup, obliterating the ants' entire city without noticing, for their attention directs toward far more complex matters. Humanity, in this universe, is that ant colony. We busily construct our models of particle physics, striving to integrate gravity into quantum mechanics, believing we approach a theory of everything. But those theories, the fundamental laws we laboriously uncover, may be mere code snippets in a colossal simulation established by some Type 7 entity to resolve a simple philosophical query. What occurs when gravity interacts with spin fields at such high energies? This position's horror is our inability to seek them. A Type 3 might emit radio signals. A Type 4 could leave energy traces across observable space. A Type 5 might intervene in star formation. But a Type 7 leaves no traces within our purview. For every trace, every constant, every physical fluctuation we measure is their creation. Seeking a Type 7 entity in this universe mirrors a computer program attempting to locate its programmer by analyzing internal algorithms. Those algorithms describe only the program's operation, revealing not of the coder's identity or motives. Consider the latest scientific pursuits we chase. We endeavor to comprehend dark energy and dark matter. These concepts, comprising approximately 95% of the universe's total energy and matter, are modern physics' grandest enigmas. To us, they are elusive, intangible forces. But for a Type 7 civilization, dark energy might simply be the expansion mechanism they installed to ensure no civilization in Universe A advances to Type 4 and recognizes their universe's limits, compelling self-destruction or retreat, a safeguard against unwarranted interference. Dark matter could be the scaffold maintaining macroscopic structures from premature disintegration, a requisite tweak for sustaining long-term living experiments. In 2025, analyses from NASA's Fermi Gamma Ray Space Telescope have yielded claims of direct dark matter evidence, detecting high-energy gamma-ray halos around antimatter particles, potentially confirming dark matter's particle nature and bolstering models of invisible cosmic frameworks. Lately, astrophysicists debate the asymmetry between matter and antimatter. In the Big Bang, matter and antimatter arose in near equal quantities. Yet our universe predominantly contains matter. This minuscule disparity, termed CP symmetry violation, enables stars, planets, and our existence. For a Type 7 civilization, instituting this asymmetry might be their inaugural step. They need not build a matter-creating machine. They merely encode into initial conditions that quark particle decays will yield 1 part per billion more matter particles than antimatter in the primordial inflationary phase. This logic is scientifically absolute. For intelligent civilization to arise, atomic stability is requisite. Nuclear reaction chains spanning billions of years. A relatively quiescent universe unravaged by incessant gamma radiation or instantaneous gravitational collapse. These conditions demand an exquisitely tuned constant set, leading to theories like the anthropic principle, positing our universe is fine-tuned because we exist. But the anthropic principle, however rational, views from within. Type 7 is the tuner. They are the why. Imagine a senior theoretical physicist of ours, Dr. Anya Sharma, grappling with Einstein's field equations. She strives to understand why space-time curves thus under matter and energy's influence. She employs complex tensor calculus, Riemannian geometry models, devoting her life to space-time manifold properties. For Anya, discovering a new equation crowns human intellect. But for a Type 7 entity, Anya Sharma and her entire physics history are a subset of established rules. Anya's breakthroughs were foreseen from the moment physical constants were set. Should Anya succeed in unveiling a true theory of everything, it proves not humanity's intellect ascending a new tier. It merely affirms that the physical parameters we set permitted a model's evolution complex enough to self-replicate and perceive those parameters. This engenders a terrifying vista. We are not universe explorers. We are meticulously designed products to probe facets of a crafted world whose purpose eludes us. This narrative style compels confrontation with meaninglessness's dread. If all we deem truth, from energy conservation to spatial dimensions existence, is orchestrated, does our free will persist? Philosophers and physicists in our Type 0 world often debate determinism. If every action is dictated by initial conditions and physical laws, we lack freedom. But for Type 7, this determinism becomes utter and absolute. They not only create initial conditions, they craft the laws enabling that determinism's operation. Consider time travel, a taboo in our modern physics. Type 6 cannot alter the past, for it shatters Universe A's causal structure. But a Type 7 civilization can birth Universe A, Universe B, and Universe C. In Universe B, they might set constants permitting stable wormholes, enabling time travel sans paradox. They violate no laws. They rewrite laws for each discrete laboratory. The terror originates from perceptual scale disparity. Imagine a mathematician proving a complex theorem. That proof demands hundreds of logical steps, dozens of auxiliary theorems, intense focus. For that mathematician, it epitomizes intellectual endeavor. To an external observer perceiving the entire proof as a single symbolic line, a simple code line, the mathematician's effort becomes meaningless. We strive to write those code lines, whilst the coder observes us with complete scientific indifference. The latest scientific models continually unveil deeper reality layers we cannot envision. For instance, space-time quantization emerges in unification attempts of gravity and quantum mechanics. Theories like loop quantum gravity posit space and time are discontinuous, composed of discrete packets or loops at the Planck scale, a scale 1 billion times smaller than a proton size. For us, discovering space-time's atomic structure is a monumental achievement. For Type 7, those space-time packets may be mere pixels on a digital screen they designed. And if we venture beyond the observable universe with its 93 billion light-year diameter, might Type 8, Type 9, or entities beyond Kardashev Scale exist? If Type 7 sets physical constants, Type 8 might decide whether multiple universes with varied constants should exist. The multiverse creator, through which Type 6 navigates. Type 8 concerns not a solitary universe. They address existence's totality, the sum of all physical possibilities. Nevertheless, this exposition compels return to our primal fear, Type 7's terror, the creator civilization. The terror arises not from malice, but because their existence renders ours superfluous. Consider life's example. Recently, scientists have discovered novel harsh environments on Earth where microbes endure. Deep-sea hydrothermal vents, subglacial ice in Antarctica, even nuclear reactor radioactive cores. This instills hope that life might form across the galaxy. It signals resilience, faith that we might be one among billions of evolving civilizations. But viewed from a Type 7 entity's angle, life forming on billions of planets may be an experiment in complex informational patterns distribution under specific physical conditions. Should a Type 7 civilization deem carbon-based life suboptimal for consciousness evolution, they could erase constants essential for organic molecule stability across Universe A, dissolving every life sprout back to basic plasma. And this transpires not from hatred or war, but perhaps necessity. Imagine a Type 7 entity's energy requisite. Their energy is not stellar, it is space-time's potential energy. They need not eat or breathe, but to sustain consciousness spanning all physical possibilities, they require a sufficiently vast computational environment. If our universe, with all stars and galaxies, proves an inefficient computational zone, they might restructure it, restructuring our three-dimensional space into a more efficient 10-dimensional framework, or simply altering cosmological constants for swifter expansion, rendering the entire universe frigid and vacant in a millionth of a second, so they can repurpose its energy for a new project. This is not destruction, it is resource liberation, akin to humans demolishing an old house to erect a more efficient data center. The terror is, for us, it concludes everything we cherish, every history, hope, art, and science, all mere spatial waste in a superior entity's vision. Returning to the Kardashev scale, we perceive it as a linear evolutionary model, and therein lies its fundamental flaw. It assumes civilization evolution entails ceaseless augmentation of material energy harvesting capability. This holds for levels from 0 to 3, but from 4 onward, evolution shifts from mastering matter to mastering the fundamental laws governing matter. Type 7 requires no energy. They require logical consistency. But what is their logic? That which we, beings confined to linear, three-dimensional logic, cannot access. Consider the latest predictions in theoretical physics. We seek empirical evidence for string theory, brain theory, or extraspatial dimensions. If a Type 7 civilization exists, they need no empirical evidence. They originated those theoretical models. The equations we wrestle to prove may be minor traces, logical fragments the universe creator inadvertently left in the basic structure. In particle physics research at CERN, we hunt novel fundamental particles, interactions. Each new discovery, such as confirming Higgs boson properties, advances understanding of basic fields. Type 7 seeks no particles, they establish fields. They set particle masses, charges, interactions. Should we find a supersymmetric particle, it is no fortune. It evidences that parameters type 7 set included those symmetries in their initial model. Let us expand upon immortality. Type 6 achieves immortality via state superposition, a colossal probability wave indestructible wholly. Type 7 with creative prowess attains another immortality level, reality replication immortality. If a consciousness portion fails or perishes in Universe A, they merely restart a Universe A version with near-perfect consciousness copy, or simply archive their entire state in another stable universe tailored as storage, where physical constants are tuned to eliminate all information decay possibility. This comparison ultimately yields a chilling realization of our position. How terrifying is a Type 7 civilization? They terrify because they redefine creation. Humans create by recombining extant elements, rearranging carbon, redirecting chemical energy. Type 7 creates by defining what those elements are ab initio. Imagine Occam's razor, the principle stating the simplest explanation often proves correct. Viewing the universe's complexity, elegant mathematical laws, constant fine-tuning, human consciousness existence, the simplest, most robust explanation is a supreme power entity crafted that foundational simplicity, from which our complexity sprouts. This is no God in traditional religious sense, but a transcendent physical entity attaining capability to control reality at its most basic level. And herein lies the crux. We, as Type 0 civilization, attempt applying our tools and logic to an immeasurable tier. Seeking a Type 7 civilization with telescopes or particle accelerators is as futile as a gut bacterium endeavoring to discern the architect who designed the house it inhabits. The conclusion is inescapable, like a flawlessly proven mathematical theorem. Ultimately, you realize humanity is almost nothing. We are not the universe's center, not evolution's pinnacle. We are a transient phenomenon, a complex material state permitted existence in a meticulously controlled environment. The grandest question is not where are they, but do they care? And based upon this hierarchy, the answer almost certainly is no. Type 7 has no reason to heed a Type 0 organism cluster combusting fossil fuels and debating climate models on a tiny planet. We might be an insignificant programming glitch, an intriguing anomaly in a particular cosmic temporal instant. This truth, though tragic, bears a peculiar scientific beauty. It terminates not our endeavors, but contextualizes them anew. Every scientific discovery, be it physics, biology, or mathematics, is not truth conquest, but comprehending details in a book whose cover we can never behold. We cling to concepts like Type 1 and Type 2 civilizations as attainable goals, for they lie within our influence. Dreaming of Type 7 acknowledges our own limitations. And might there be a Type 8 crafting the multiverse? Or a Type 9 birthing logic laws permitting the multiverse? We cannot know. But the potential, terrifying presence of Type 7 suffices to shake every foundation of what we believe about humanity's importance in this universe. We can only persist in research, advance from Type 0, hoping that one day we attain a tier lofty enough not merely to recognize our Creator's existence, but to comprehend, if only fleetingly, why they chose to ignite the diminutive candle we call the universe. But until then, we remain ensnared in the pitiable naivety of a Type 0 civilization, pondering gods we unwittingly describe through the physical laws they bestowed.